I am so proud to introduce to you a real expert. Nancy Lee Bentley, also known as That Gutsy Lady, is a dynamic holistic nutrition expert. Speaker. She's a speaker, best-selling author, healthy private chef and mentor who helps busy, conscious women find their way to eat healthy, feel good, and be healthier. Simple, faster, easier, and more deliciously than you might ever think. Even during the hectic, stressful holidays this year, you can use some of Nancy's time tested, quick, easy, and delicious recipes and practical tips for enjoying happier, healthier holidays yourself. So I'm excited because she's here and we're going to bring her on and let's see what she has to say today. Welcome, Nancy. I am absolutely privileged and honored to be able to bring you onto this summit. And I want to start by asking you, what brought you, give me a little bit of the background, what brought you to this world of nutrition? And I mean, you have such a wealth of knowledge, and to be a private chef for like some really big names, to be a private chef for healthy food is real unique. So I want to ask you, how did you get started?
Oh, Peggy, it's so great to be here with you and so honored to be part of this summit and this work with this collaborative group of the Natural Health Collaborative. And I am so happy. I'm really grateful because, wow, as a well, I'm an old school. I'm old school, and as it's been said, what a long, strange trip that's been. Uh, this I have been into this arena, the whole circle around food and agriculture and health and wellness and nutrition for over 50 years. I grew up on a dairy farm, a self-sufficient dairy farm in upstate New York, where we raised everything, including making maple syrup. I did everything ever after school. I cooked. I have been doing so much in exploring the world of food and nutrition and how can we eat healthier. I studied this at Cornell. I professionally have done so many different things that it's almost ridiculous, but it has given me a huge repertoire, a huge focus, and a scope too, because I've seen things change over a long period of time where from where we raised everything. I mean, the only thing we bought was coffee and sugar, basically wonderful stuff, right? On the farm, but to now where so much, we have so much processed and well, let's call like is a lot of it's toxic food. It's not so healthy for you because we've allowed ourselves to have, we want convenience, we want it now, we want everything we want, but there's compromises. It's not just all one thing. So what I really have over a long period of time seen and learned from doing cooking from every day after school to, you know, big celebrations and catering and, lots of that and stuff on television, etc. And including, you'll probably see my little, oops, wrong side. You'll see up there on my shelf a container of Accent, which is pure MSG. And I worked for those people in the trenches in New York advertising during the Madman days, right? And developing recipes for Accent, which is pure MSG, the stuff I talk about and warn about now. So I'm like, I have been in the lion's den and down the rabbit hole. And wow, it's not easy to know all this stuff. But what I've been trying to do is really hone in and help people practically, easily, deliciously. We've got this myth that, oh, if it's healthy, it can't taste good, right? That's been around for
I've
a
heard
long.
that.
Yeah, right. And it's so hard, but actually it really it can be a lot easier and a lot more healthy and delicious than you might think to eat healthy. So one of those things is, about eating. I said, fall in love with, fall in love with, healthier food. Eat by the seasons. Okay. It's like
Yes.
season your food. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, I do a lot of play on words because guess what? It's all, there are many meanings for words, including guts, right? Which is part of our, a key part of our food factory and how our body handles it and how it's all connected. We call it the gut, the ringmaster. But anyway,
Yeah.
how to eat healthier by, for one thing, it's not rocket science. Like I said, I'm old school. It's not rocket science. Like, look at how things have evolved over a period of time. Eating in within the seasons is a way to eat cheaper, healthier, more nutritiously, and more deliciously, because what's fresh in season is the most delicious and has the most nutritious, especially if you're getting it locally. So I've adapted a lot of things, like how do we deal with all the, well, especially here, we're going into the holidays, right? This stretch from the from the Halloween time all the way
Oh boy.
through the new year. That's like a quarter of the year, right? And we are constantly bombarded with so much sugar, so much processed foods. Do we get how do we get through? How do we navigate our way through this jungle of addictive food? And I'll call it like it is. This is addictive food technology. And it is well known. The food companies know how much exactly ratio of sugar and fat and salt to put together to make you want more and eat more. Why do they put salted sugared peanuts on bars, right? So you will drink more. Yeah, anyway, so
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
it's a big story. It's a big circle. The food circle is a big circle, but we're in the center of it. And so what we each do, that's all we can do, is what we can do. Take care of our own bodies, eat the healthiest we can. And again, it doesn't have to be all day in the kitchen, doesn't have to be so much work. A lot is mental, a lot is attitude, a lot is learning simple techniques. I mean, I make delicious candies out of two ingredients, like dried apricots and dried cranberries with a little cardamom in there. And they're delicious. People love them and they're beautiful and easy. And, I mean, that's just one example. Anyway, obviously I can go on and on.
No, I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you just said something that most people would not have realized. You said it's cheaper. And the big misnomer we hear all the time is I can't eat organic. It's too expensive. I can't eat healthy. It's too expensive. It's much cheaper to buy a 10-cent box of macaroni and cheese, right?
Or stop at the drive-through and get a cheap, but you get what
So,
you
so
get. What goes in comes out.
right,
Right.
right. So when you say it's cheaper, I think people have to learn, what do you mean by it's cheaper? Because we know that, of course, if you have a local farm and you're going to buy something fresh, you're going to save money there for sure. It's not going through
Yeah,
all the ridiculous chains it does when it goes to the grocery store. What else could be
part of the,
accessed during this season
so
that's reasonable?
here's an idea. When you eat real food, whole food, yes, you have to convert it. You have to make it, break it down, cook it, whatever. However, when you buy real food and you convert that, you get more value. You can eat more because it's high fiber, which is one of the things our little microbiome, our organisms for our gut, our little inner ecology here, our little inner family needs in order to be healthy. Okay. uh as opposed to, the more concentrated sugars and everything. When you eat that food, you can eat more, you feel more nourished, and you are in a better mindset, and you don't need as much food. You really don't. You're more satisfied by eating lesser food because it is got the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins, and the antioxidants, and all these natural ingredients that get taken away often when food is processed. Because if it's convenient and it's ready to eat, they have to use a lot of chemicals to stabilize that.
Mm.
And so, and every time they do something to food and sell it to you in all this packaging and all of this, marketing and pictures and all this stuff, which I used to do food photography for the food companies. I would say I adjusted grains of salt on popcorn for a living. It's that kind of level. Seriously, it is that level of minutia and focusing. But when you do that, when you eat healthy, you you're not paying for all of that, and you get more mileage out of the food. You get
Yeah.
on many levels,
I
including
love I love
more
that.
longevity for your own machine, your own
Right,
vehicle,
right.
right?
I like I like the fact that you of what you just said. You get more
Mileage.
mileage. You get more
You
mileage.
get
I
more
thought that
mileage
was a
out of.
great it's really good to think of it that way. I know when I'm eating all whole foods, I do eat more for sure, like a quinoa salad with a lot of
Yeah.
vegetables in it. Well, it makes so much, and I'm like, I'm the only one in the house eating it, but I could eat it for days. But you're right. You get a lot more out of it for sure. You do
Mhm.
get a lot
Right.
more out of it. So, what are some of the foods during the season that are out? And of course, I'm in the Northeast. You're in the
Yeah.
middle area,
Yeah,
but
in the Midwest.
what do
Right.
you find? What do you find is the best idea around the seasons?
Okay. Well, eating whole foods, and a lot of them can be, grains or lentils, for example, very quick cooking proteins that you can have shelf stable. You don't even need to keep, just want to have
Mhm.
them closed and but without necessarily having to have freezer, refrigerator, whatever. But eating fresh fruits and vegetables in season. So right now, okay, so we're in the fall. Now, looking at that denser, more robust and firmer things like squashes and pumpkins, and um,
Mm.
and then in the fruits you got apples and pears and so forth. And those things also can, many of them will stay and be fresh for a while. Like on our farm, we had a potato cellar, and we kept all of these
Wow.
foods at just in a lower temperature through the winter. And I mean, once those squashes are cured, you can just leave them on, in a, so it's not moist or warm, leave them in a, not refrigerated, but in a cooler place, dry place, and you can access them all year. Sometimes, you know what, even when you're growing stuff, which I recommend growing a little bit, even in pots, right? I just brought my herbs in from the snow we had yesterday, that you can have fresh stuff all year round. And then it's again fresher. It's always good to eat some fresh food with whatever you're eating. You'll get more energy, more natural, and more nutrients, but more energy out of the food, live food, right? And you'll be able to digest more, right? Okay, so you excuse me, like especially the fruits and vegetables, I think they're so key. And you can do things. Look at the holidays. What do we have? We have squash casserole. We have creamed onions. We maybe have well, mashed potatoes, another root vegetable, right? uh Sweet potato casserole. Green beans are available through the
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
and so forth. I mean, there's just
There's
so
so
much.
many things.
Yeah, and those weird
Absolutely.
things like rutabagas that nobody like, or turnips. I mean, I make stuff and people are, I will cut up turnips in little ones, and fresh ones for dips. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will roast root vegetables like carrots and
Mm.
parsnips and rutabagas and turnips and beets in a delicious sweet casserole that I'm not adding any sugar to, or side dish, right? And it's
Mhm.
delicious, and it's beautiful and it's hearty and it's easy and it's cheap. It's inexpensive.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Well, I know we could talk for another couple days, I'm sure, because
We
there's
could,
so much.
yes.
You are such a wealth of wisdom in this area, and I know there's going to be many, many more things you're going to be sharing with all of us. What I'd like to know is, I know you were going to offer some kind of a free gift for anyone
Yeah.
that's watching today,
Well, I have a
and
couple actually. One
oh,
one
well,
is,
that's great.
well,
Tell
yeah, one of them is actually what I've gotten so many requests. I do these healthy trays of delicious sweets for the holidays. Okay. So
Mm,
I've developed these over a long period of time. And I have now, then I brought the recipes together. Simple things like like I said, 2 ingredient little confections or whatever. So I've got this jumpstart your healthy eating dessert first ebook that you can,
ooh,
that has these recipes, it has tips, it has quizzes and activity sheets in
oh
it and
my
guides for you
goodness.
to just get going on it, because people have a hard time, they seem like they're having a hard time just to get going with eating healthier when it doesn't have to be so, and I mean I also am giving a healthier holiday guide. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because when you're in the holidays, it's like, wow, what do? You got to go into all these parties. Oh, by the way, eat first. When you don't just starve yourself when you're going to go to a holiday party. Make sure you eat. In fact, you might even bring a dish that you can eat into the party as a gift, and then you'll have something to eat for sure if you want to eat healthy, right? Anyway, lots of tips like that about how to get through the holidays more stress less, more enjoying and healthier, and not have that wake up call in January when you're like, oh
Yeah. Ooh, what did I do?
my god, oh.
I feel really crummy. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I so appreciate all your wisdom. And as I said, I know you'll be coming back many, many times to help everyone understand the value of eating healthy. Thank you again.
Thank you, Peggy, so much. Oh, and remember,
Oh,
the secret ingredient is always food. No. No, this oh
I know you. I know what you were going
the
to say.
secret ingredient is always, no, remember, the secret ingredient is always love.
I gotcha.
Thank you so much, Peggy.